An equal opportunity employer with a half-century of service in communities coast to coast.
Learn more about a Welcome Wagon hostess or host career. Call Welcome Wagon at 469-8470 today and get started on your new and rewarding Welcome Wagon career. 10:29, Chicago's weather, decreasing cloudiness but colder as the evening and morning hours approach. The low around 12 above, so it's going to be a bit cool this Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. In fact, Weather Command has predicted some light snow showers likely, the high around 22 degrees. For Tuesday, decreasing cloudiness, more cold weather predicted for the area. Again, there's a possibility of snow. And for the next few days, we will see readings between 3 and 6 degrees below normal. Our normal high, 33, the normal low, 19. The lakefront, 30, Midway, 28, O'Hare, 27, the humidity, 72%. The winds are northwesterly at 14 miles per hour. The wind chill factor 7 above. The barometer 29.71.
Give to the Wreath of Hope. Send your contributions to Bell Federal Savings, Monroe and Clark Street, Chicago 60603. News Radio 78, WBBM, Chicago.
You're invited to Northwest Federal's grand opening celebration. It's another new savings center in Elmhurst, Elk Grove, with free gifts for savers and a Hawaiian vacation sweepstakes. Northwest Federal location, including both our new locations at Elmhurst and Elk Grove. It's Northwest Federal savings time, 63 hours a week. One more time.
It's Northwest Federal savings time, 63 hours a week.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. This is a very special occasion for me. I'm to be a little more than your host. This time, I will not only be introducing the story, but telling it to you, acting it out. The Mystery Theater's special Christmas story this year, Charles Dickens' immortal classic, A Christmas Carol, with Guess Who as Scrooge. Bah, humbug. Our mystery drama, A Christmas Carol, was adapted from the Charles Dickens classic especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin. It is sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
Take your Contact, take it now. Give your cold to Contact.
Before you choose a cold medicine, you should know that no cold tablet, no cold liquid has found the way to give you Contact's continuous relief. One Contact works up to 12 hours, helps relieve all your congestive symptoms, all day, all night. That's the wonder of Contact.
Give your cold to Contact.
Take only as directed.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gregory Peck. With original designs and paintings contributed by leading artists of every continent, UNICEF greeting cards are a beautiful way to give, available all over the world through voluntary non-profit organizations. When you buy UNICEF greeting cards, you're helping to feed, clothe, and educate needy children. Help the children of the world through UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund.
Working for you. Working for you. Commonwealth Edison, working for you.
Hi, this is Ed Powers for Commonwealth Edison. Did you know there's a way to get back more energy than you put in when it comes to heating your home? As much as 50% more energy? Well, I'm talking about the electric heat pump. It may heat and cool your home for less than you're now paying because it relies on heat from the sun. Heat that's already in the outside air, instead of making heat by burning scarce fuels. In the winter, it pumps heat energy into your home to keep you warm. And in the summer, it's an air conditioner that pumps heat out of your home to keep you cool. So if you're replacing your furnace or buying a new home, you owe it to yourself to take a look at the electric heat pump. It can save you money while it saves energy.
Working for you. Commonwealth Edison.
Dickens' A Christmas Carol begins like this. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt about that whatever. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Ebenezer Scrooge? Oh, he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck out generous fire. Solitary as an oyster, he iced his office in the dog days and didn't thaw it out 1 degree, even at Christmas.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Oh, it's you, nephew. What brings you here on a miserable, cold, windy night like tonight?
Cold and windy, yes, and the snow falling softly. A perfect Christmas Eve to say, Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Ah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug? Oh, you don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry, or the world at large? What reason have you yourself to be merry? You're poor enough.
Oh, come then. What reason have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
Don't you taunt me, Fred. Bah! Don't indulge yourself in expectations. Humbug.
Take me as I am, Uncle, and as the season is, and don't be cross.
Where else can I be when I live in a world of fools? Christmas. Phooey. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? Time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own plum pudding and buried with a stake of holly to his heart.
Oh, come along, Uncle. Can you not let down for once and enjoy yourself?
Come along, nephew. Keep Christmas in your own way. Let me keep it in mine.
Yes, but you don't keep it.
Leave me alone, then. Much good it may do you. Much good has it ever done you?
Oh, there are a lot of things, Uncle, from which I've never profited. Christmas among the rest. Except that when it comes around, who can resist it? A kind of forgiving time of year when men and women seem by one consent to open up their hearts freely. So then I say, Uncle, though it never put a scrap of silver or gold in my pocket, I believe it has and will do me good, and so I say, God bless it.
Who's that? What's all that there?
I'm sorry, Mr. Scrooge. It's just that it is a holiday, and my hands were so cold.
Just let me hear another word from you, Bob Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your employment.
Oh, please, sir, I humbly beg your pardon. It was just an action on the spur of the moment.
Just apply the spur to goad you into finishing your work, Cratchit. And let's hear no more from you.
Yes, sir.
Well, nephew, why are you here?
To ask you to dine with us tomorrow.
Dine with you? Never. There's nothing more ridiculous than all the fuss and expense over Christmas dinner.
Oh, Uncle, I want and ask nothing from you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
And with all my heart, I'm sorry to find you so resolute. At least, I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon. And be sure to make the front door fast. No wasting of heat here. No extra logs on the fire.
Yes, Uncle. Mr. Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
May I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The first I am sure of, and I thank you. The other...
who knows what the future holds. Be of good hope.
The nerve of all of them. My nephew, Wastrel, and Bob Cratchit on 15 shillings a week with a wife and family talking about a Merry Christmas. Enough to make a man retire to Bedlam. They're all mad.
Begging your pardon, Mr. Scrooge, a gentleman to see you.
Yes.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the honor of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley's been dead for 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
Ah, sad. Sad indeed. Still, I have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
Liberality?
At this festive season, it is more than usually desirable that we all make some slight provision for the poor and destitute. You may make your pledge here.
Are there no prisons?
We speak of the needy.
The union workhouses are not still in operation.
They are. I wish I could say they were not. A few of us private citizens are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. What shall I put you down for, Mr. Scrooge?
Nothing.
Of course, you wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. By tax, I help to support the establishments we have mentioned. They cost enough and more. Let those who are badly off go there.
Many can't go there. And many would rather die.
If they would rather die, then let them do so and decrease the surplus population. Good afternoon, sir, whatever your name is.
I find you hard to believe, Mr. Scrooge.
Cratchit, let him out. Close the door, Cratchit, to extinguish what coals remain.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Come here.
Coming, Mr. Scrooge.
You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'd be bound.
Well, sir,
And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
I would not presume to have an opinion, but then it is only one day a year.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose I have no choice. You must have the whole day. Just make sure you are here earlier the following morning. I dined my usual melancholy dinner in the usual melancholy tavern. Afterwards, climbed the stairs to my living quarters in the gloom. Something about my door knocker stopped me as I was about to put key in lock. For one strange moment, it looked like Molly. Ghostly spectacles turned up on its ghostly forehead. To say that I was not startled would not be strictly true. And even after I was entered and locked in and my candle lit, I did pause irresolutely before I dismissed it with humbug. Humbug. Still, I was uneasy. Trimming my candle, I walked through all my rooms to make sure all was well. Sitting room, bedroom, lumber room, all as it should be. Small fire in the grate, spoon and basin ready, little saucepan of gruel, since I had a cold. What's that? The front door. The side door. The bell by my bed. The one on the mantel and on the sideboard. What do they herald? Who rings them? The cellar door. And that noise. What? I won't believe it. I say there is humbug still. Grim Spectre, what do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley. You don't believe in
I
me?
don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You may be a bit of undigested beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There's more of gravy about you than the grave, wherever you are. Humbug, I tell you, humbug.
Unbeliever! So, I unwrapped the bandages from about my head to reveal the rotting flesh, the jaw fallen slackly to my breast, the muscles eaten long since by worms. Now, do you believe me for who and what I am?
Yes, oh, mercy, dread apparition. Why do you trouble me?
I must.
But why are you fettered and bound in chains?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it, link by link. I girded it on of my own free will. Is its pattern so strange to you? Or would you learn the weight and length of the coil you wear yourself? It was full and as heavy and as long as mine these 7 Christmas Eves ago, and you have labored on it since. My once partner in life, what a ponderous chain you have built to drag you down in death.
No, Jacob. Oh, Jacob Marley, speak some comfort to me.
I have none to give. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house in life. So, in death, weary journeys lie before me.
7 years dead and traveling all the time?
No rest, no peace, the incessant torture of remorse. I am here tonight, Ebenezer, to warn you that you have yet a hope of escaping my fate.
Oh, you were always a good friend, Sankey.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
That is the hope you mentioned?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you have no hope but to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1.
But couldn't I take them all at once and have it over?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third, when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate on your mantle clock. And for your own sake, remember what has passed between us. Passed between us.
Jacob, do not leave me yet. But he was gone, as if he had never been. And yet, he had been. And Ebenezer Scrooge would never be the same man again.
He fell asleep without undressing upon the instant. A sleep that was destined to be disturbed, as I shall relate when I return with Act 2.
Broadway musical. Girl Scouts need adult volunteers. Call your local Girl Scout council today. Girl Scouts part of being a girl. It's learning to be in a very big world. Learning to care and learning to share. And seeking the answers tomorrow will bring.
Skokie, Lincolnwood, Morton Grove, Niles Gulf, these are the suburbs served by the News. A progressive newspaper in a progressive area. Whether your needs be buying, selling, renting, or hiring, the classified columns of the News are your answer. 50 years of service to the Niles Township community means they are established. In fact, the established newspaper. OR3 5000. You are that close to one of their trained specialists who will assist you in preparing your ad message and keep your costs at a minimum. You know what items you have put away and will probably never use again, much of them like new. So why not convert it to cash? Call the Post Leader News at OR3 5000 to be sure your message is in front of thousands of readers next Thursday. That's the Post Leader News at OR3 5000. Remember that number, OR3 5000.
When Scrooge awoke, it was dark, and the chimes of a neighborhood church were striking the 4 quarters. To his amazement, they were followed by 12 strokes of the bell. 12? Impossible. It was 2 when he went to bed.
possible I could have slept through a whole day and far into another night? As I lay, I suddenly remembered that Marley had said a ghost would visit me at 1. Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
Your past. Don't you recognize me?
A strange figure, almost like a child. The outlines dimly seen. It wore a tunic of purest white and a branch of fresh green holly in its hand, in singular contradiction to the dress, which was trimmed with summer flowers. But strangest of all, above its crown sprang a bright, clear jet of light, which illuminated the darkest corner, but obscured the face. And under its arm a cap, which looked for all the world like a candle snuffer. For some reason, I wanted it to put on its cap. The light is blinding. Would you not put on your cap?
Would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I shed? Is it not enough that you are the one who fashioned me this cap and forced me to wear it low upon my brow?
I? What business brings you here?
Your welfare.
Well, if you would regard my welfare, you would leave my sleep unbroken.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
I cannot resist your command, but I am an old man, lightly clad and nursing a cold to boot.
Do not deny me. Come. Follow me.
All of a sudden, I was flying, floating on air. The night had vanished as the city below me, and I was looking down on the country in the clear, cold light of day, with snow dusting the ground. Good heavens! I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
Your lip is trembling. What is that upon your cheek?
Nothing. Nothing. The wind makes my eyes water. Lead me where you will.
Do you not remember the way?
Remember it. I could walk it blindfold.
Strange to have forgotten it so many years. Let us set our feet on the road.
I will not tell you most of where we wandered as time stood still or raced ahead at a whim. The school where I was a child. The house I grew up in, an orphan. A terrible rush of tears remembering another outcast, a foreigner, an alien who in our mutual loneliness had once befriended me. Poor Ali Baba. It's too late now.
What is too late?
Nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door last night. I should like to have given him something, that's all.
What might have been. Let us see another Christmas.
What's that?
Your aunt, who brought you up, passed away.
Oh, no.
Always a delicate creature whom a breath might have withered. But she had a large heart.
Amen to that. I will not gainsay it, Spirit.
When she died, she had, I think, children.
One child.
True. Your nephew.
Yes. We traveled further, scenes flashing by like slides in a magic lantern. Old Fezziwig in his Welsh wig, my first employer. His Christmas parties with a groaning table and everyone dancing with a light foot and heart to the festive music. His kind wife and the joy of working at a desk one wasn't nailed to. And then someone I had shut away so long ago.
What is it, Scrooge?
That girl.
Whom you shall sit beside.
No.
Oh, yes. This shadow most of all. Don't you remember me?
I told you the light blinds me.
Then remember me as I was, before you put my light out.
No tears, I beg you.
None. If the idol who has replaced me can cheer and comfort you, I must not grieve.
What idol?
A golden one. Nothing but gain engrosses you.
So, if I have grown wiser, I'm not changed toward you.
Our marriage contract was made when we were both poor. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Whatever you were, I freely offer you your release.
Have I ever sought it?
In words? Never.
How, then?
In a changed nature. In everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. And so I release you, with a full heart, for the love of what once you were. May you be happy in the life you've chosen.
Now I recognize you, Spirit, and why you've come back to haunt me. Torture me no more.
Some shadows still to see.
No, I can bear it no longer. Haunt me no longer. The light you shine is too bright for my eyes to bear. Give me your cap so I may extinguish it, and you. In a puff of smoke, the figure was gone, and I had barely time to reel to my bed, exhausted from the long night's travels, where I fell into a heavy sleep. What's that? The clock ticking away. Awake in the night of time. Almost one. When the second messenger Marley sends me from the grave will arrive. What ghastly shape might he take? What hideous form? What torture might this one plan for me? At least I am prepared for anything. Well, prepared for anything but nothing. Hello there, Spirit. Are you invisible to me? What's that? That great light from beneath my sitting room door. Here's a fearful waste of light, a shocking extravagance. I must go in and douse these candles. Yet I'm afraid to enter.
Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge. Stop skulking there behind your bedroom door. Enter, man. Enter.
Why, here's a prodigal spending of light in a great roaring blaze hot enough to set the chimney flue on fire.
Look well on me. Have you never seen the like of me before?
Never.
It is time your eyes were opened to this and other things.
Spirit, I will be no trouble. Conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learned a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Hold fast to my robe.
In the blink of an eye, we were transported to a mean and shabby little house, threadbare but clean as a new washed shirt, and redolent of the mouth-watering smell of goose, basking in sage and onion, and aromas of an eating house and pastry cooks next together, which came from the Christmas pudding.
Whatever has got your precious father, then, and your brother, Tiny Tim? I never remember him, Martha, as late as this on Christmas Day.
What a place is this?
House of your clerk, Bob Cratchit. See, here he comes now.
That child he carries on his shoulder with a little crutch in his hand, and his lower limbs bound in an iron cage.
The youngest of the Cratchits, Tiny Tim.
Why, look at him struggle after the others as his father sets him down. Where are they off to?
To watch one of the merriest sights of this merriest of seasons. The golden goose turn on the spit. Shh. Listen.
How late you are, my dear, and how cold. Oh, come sit you down by the fire and have a warm. Lord bless you.
After I've had a look at that goose, too.
First, tell me, how did Tiny Tim behave through the service?
Oh, as good as gold and better.
Oh.
Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you ever heard.
I know. What was it this time?
He told me coming home he hoped everyone in the church saw him because he was a cripple.
Oh.
Because it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who it was made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Oh, Bob. Bob. Oh, I feel so much for you.
No. You must not, my dear. Remember the day. Come, let's join the others.
Tell me, Spirit, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a little crutch without an owner. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Oh, no, kind Spirit. Spare him.
That from you, recall your own words. If he be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Oh, I am ashamed.
And should be, man, if you be man at heart, forbear that wicked cant until you have discovered what the surplus is and where it is. Listen.
A toast before we eat to Mr. Scrooge.
To me?
I'll give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. Oh, I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I'd hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
Oh, my dear, the children, Christmas Day.
Well, I'll drink to his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, you'll be very merry and very happy, I've no doubt.
And now, a Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
Yes, Merry.
My very name cast a pall upon their happiness.
But mark you on the wealth of spirit among them, which thought kindly on a man with as little spirit as yours.
In particular, that poor little lad, Tiny Tim. Did you notice how generous he was to end the toast with, God bless us, everyone, including even me? What a valiant little soul, in spite of all his handicaps.
Perhaps your eyes are opening at last. But come, you have more to learn.
Where now?
Your nephew's house.
He said that Christmas was a humbug. As I live, he believed it, too.
More shame for him, Fred, that my uncle-in-law should speak so.
Well, he's a comical old fellow and not so pleasant as he might be.
Oh.
However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him. And I will have no downturned mouths at this season. So here is a glass of mulled wine to our hands. Let's drink to the old man.
Well, he has given us plenty of merriment at that. So, to Uncle Scrooge.
A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever he is. He wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it nevertheless. To Uncle Scrooge.
To Uncle Scrooge.
No, wait. Let me go to them. Explain.
Too late for me. The hour grows too late. Away.
Where stand we now? This open place.
A crossroads where I must leave you.
Oh, forgive me what I ask, but I see something strange protruding from the skirt of your robe.
That might be a claw for all the flesh there is upon it.
Yes.
Then see what you must see.
From the sanctuary came forth a boy and a girl. Yellow, meager, ragged, scowling, wolfish, but prostrate, too, in their humility. I started back appalled. Spirit, are these yours?
They are man's. The boy is ignorance, the girl is want. Beware of them both and all of their degree, but most of all beware this boy, for on his brow I see written doom, unless the writing can be erased. My time is sounding.
Wait. Have these pitiful creatures no refuge or resource?
I answer in your own words. Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Hold for one moment. Help me. Where should I turn?
Turn and face your future. The black phantom that approaches you now. Face your future. Your future.
stroke of the bell struck 12, Scrooge turned to face a dread figure, a solemn phantom, draped and hooded in blacks and deep grays, coming, creeping like the mist about it towards him. I'll return with Act 3 very shortly.
Listen with your heart and you'll hear more than words.
Grandma,
Yes, sweetheart?
did my mother ever do anything bad?
Well, what do you mean?
Did she always clean up her room?
Listen with your heart and you'll hear love. Seems to me I had to remind her to clean up her room on occasion.
Sometimes I forget, too.
Well, everyone forgets once in a while.
Grandma, does my mom love Jimmy more than me?
No. No, your mother used to ask me that about her brother.
Really?
Listen with your heart and you'll hear love. You remind me an awful lot of your mother when she was a little girl.
Listening, caring, and sharing. That's what understanding is all about.
Listen with your heart and you'll hear love.
From the Mormons, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
This is WBBM Chicago. Make your holiday meals more festive and flavorful with the help of Dominic's Old World Deli Specialists. They have the perfect specials for that Christmas tree trimming that you're planning. For instance, serve old-fashioned country sliced bacon, just 89 cents a pound. Served with eggs and toast, it's a perfect way to start your day. Or try slicing up a lean, luscious ham. Dominic's Deli Specialists make it easy because you can save $1.50 off the purchase price of Ager, Dubuque, or Corn King 5-pound canned ham with an in-store coupon. And while in Dominic's, ask about those tantalizing holiday party trays. At your request, Dominic's Deli Specialists will create delectable platters of tasty roast beef, lean corned beef, pastrami, salami, and cheese of all kinds. And don't forget about Dominic's homemade salads. They're practically a meal in themselves. There's nothing that can match the fun and good cheer of the holidays or tasty holiday specials from Dominic's, Chicagoland's most complete food stores.
The last phantom silently, slowly, gravely approached. It was shrouded in a deep black garment, which concealed its head, its face, its form, and left nothing of it visible save one outstretched hand, which served as its only voice, for the spirit neither spoke nor moved. I am in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You answer not, but point where we are to go. Lead on, Spirit, and I will follow. A great black cloud gathered me and carried me willy-nilly to the streets. Its shroud, like the figure that stood by me, hung about me as I listened to two gentlemen talking in the street.
So, Mr. Grimes, old Scratch has got his own at last.
I have been so informed, Mr. Goodfellow. When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
What on earth could he have caught? I thought he'd never die.
God knows. Why should I care?
What has he done with his money?
Heaven knows. Not left to charity, and certainly not to me. Left to his company, perhaps.
Oh, God knows he appears not to have had any sort of personal tie.
By which token, it's like to be a very cheap funeral. For upon my life, I cannot think of anybody to go to it.
How dismal and awful to dismiss another human being in such terms. Forgive me, dread ghost. I did not mean to diverge. You wish to reveal something to me? You have my full attention.
Fred, the news is bad.
Bad?
We are quite ruined.
Oh, no, there's hope for us yet.
He relents. If he forgives or forgave, there might have been. Ah, but it is too late for the miracle.
Poor, old, miserable boy. He's past relenting. He's dead.
Wait, Spirit, wait. I'm not ready to leave. What else would you have me look on?
Tell me again about today. About little Tim and the grave.
It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him I would walk there every other Sunday. My last born. My poor little broken child.
Oh, please. I shall break down with you.
Oh, my darling. We can all try to be brave, but how can we hide our sorrow? What is more final and dreadful than death?
I want to help, Spectre, but something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. Tell me, what man was it I saw lying dead? Very well. You point. Where to this time? A churchyard. And here we are. A headstone. You would have me read it? Tell me, are these the shadows of things that will be or may be only? Oh, my own name, Ebenezer Scrooge. Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been from all this intercourse. Why show me this if I am past all hope? For once, you make no motion. Your nature intercedes for me and pities me. Good Spirit, I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. The three spirits shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone. Give me your hand, I beg you. Give me your hand. I hold you to me. You cannot disappear. You cannot disappear. You... Well, bless my soul. What I cling to is my own bedpost. And wait. Perhaps my time is my own to make amends in. Yes, I will live in the past, in the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, oh Jacob, on my knees. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather, and I am as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. A Merry Christmas to everyone. A Happy New Year to all the world. Hello there. Oh, hello. Oh, there's the saucepan the gruel was in. There's the door by which the ghost of Jacob Marley entered. There's the corner where I saw the wandering spirits. It's all right. It's true. It all happened. Oh, my God, I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I'm a baby. I don't know what month it is. Throw open the window and rejoin the world. Hey, Mr. Grimes, what's today?
Why, Christmas Day.
Christmas Day! I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do what they like. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Do you still run the poulterer's shop in the next street but one, at the corner?
I should hope I did, on my way to open up.
Oh, pray then, Mr. Grimes, do I dare hope you have not yet sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey, the big prize turkey.
The one as big as an ostrich?
Oh, a delightful man, a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, Mr. Grimes.
It is hanging there now.
Well, what are we waiting for? I want to buy it. Bring it here that I may give directions where to take it. Send back your boy and I'll give him a shilling. Have him bring it back in less than 5 minutes and I'll give him half a crown. Better still, here's a £5 note. Send him to deliver the turkey to Mr. Cratchit by cab at the address I give you. And what's left shall be your Christmas present and his. Shaving was not an easy task, for my hand was shaking, and shaving demands attention. At last it was finished, and I dressed myself in all my best and issued forth to the streets.
The first person I met was a portly gentleman who had walked into my counting house the day before, saying, Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. I hastened to intercept him. My dear sir, how do you do? I beg your pardon? I hope you succeeded yesterday. A Merry Christmas to you, sir. Mr. Scrooge? That is my name. I fear not pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon, and will you have the goodness to allow me to contribute? May I have your ear, sir? Oh, Lord bless me. So much. My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you really serious? If you please. Not a farthing less. Will you do me that favor? Oh, my dear sir, I don't know what to say to such don't say anything. Come and see me. Will you come and see me? I will indeed. Thank you. I thank you 50 times. Bless you. Merry Christmas. By all that's holy, is it you, Uncle? Me, Fred. You did ask me to dinner. Am I too late to take up the invitation? Too late? Will you let me in? Will I let you in? Why, here's the merriest turn a Christmas can take, darling wife. Here's Uncle Scrooge to share our Christmas. Isn't that a present for this day?
You couldn't have brought Fred a better one. Welcome to our home, Uncle.
For only the first of many times, I hope. It's a whole new year. Yes, and you may spend it all with us, if you will. Only today, for I must be in the office as early as can be. No. Don't steal glances at each other. It isn't business on my mind, but recompense. And since at last I have learned to laugh, I want to have my first joke with the man I have perhaps wronged most all of these years. My faithful Bob Cratchit. A wonderful day. An evening with my nephew. A deep sleep that might have lasted for days, except that I was bound and determined to be earlier than my clerk at the counting house that Monday morning. I was as pleased as a child when I beat him there. Even more pleased to find that for once he was late. When the door opened and he came in, he was a full 18 1/2 minutes behind his time. His hat and scarf were off before he opened the door. In terror of the man I had been, he was on his stool in a jiffy, writing his pen as if he were trying to overtake the lost minutes.
Morning, Mr. Scrooge.
Morning. A little late for that. What do you mean by coming here this time of day?
I am very sorry, sir. I am behind time.
You are? Yes, I think you are. Now, step this way, sir, if you please.
It's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend. I'm not going to stand by this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I feel myself forced to raise your salary.
Huh? Why, Mr. Scrooge, sir, do you feel all right?
Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas than I have given you for many a year. Not only raise your salary, but discuss your affairs and endeavor to help your struggling family over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop. So, make up the fires till they hot us right out of the counting house before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit. It's not only a new year, but a whole new world for both of us.
As we all know, Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. And he made a good new will for his nephew and his future partner, Bob Cratchit. One thing after a long life he took to his grave, that he knew how to keep Christmas well. May it be truly said of all of us, and as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
are certain foods, plants, and animal products you can't bring back to the U.S. You can't because they're prohibited. They're prohibited because even one of these foods, plants, or animal products might carry a disease or pest that could spread to our crops and gardens and animals with devastating results. You haven't been everywhere on the globe yet, but there's always tomorrow. And before you go again, write for the free booklet that explains the law.
Even one can hurt. Write for Traveler's Tips.
Write to Traveler's Tips, U.S. Department of Agriculture, Washington, D.C. 20250. It's free.
What more is there to say after Dickens' Christmas Carol, except the eternal message it brings, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Our cast included Marion Seldes, Ian Martin, Evie Juster, Robert Dryden, and William Redfield. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
Why not give Victor something to worry about? What have you got to lose? Praskovia, pretend to love me. What can happen? Either Victor will behave himself, or you will discover that all along, I've been the one for you.
I don't know.
Look, we shall turn on the television set.
No.
It should be against the law for one man to be so handsome and so talented.
You see how she clutches his arm? Talons like a vulture.
Turn it off. How he eats it up. The fool.
Shall we give Victor something to worry about?
Yes, Sergei. We shall definitely give Victor something to worry about.
This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Invited to Northwest Federal's grand opening celebration. It's another new savings center in Elmhurst, Elk Grove, with free gifts for savers and a Hawaiian vacation sweepstakes. Stop by any Northwest Federal Savings Center, including Elmhurst, Elk Grove, and choose from over 20 terrific gifts. Free or for special low prices with a deposit of $250 or more. Our new Elmhurst Savings Center has the same convenient hours as all our Northwest Federal Savings Centers, 63 hours a week. Come celebrate our Elmhurst grand opening. You could win one of 2 free trips to Hawaii. No transaction is necessary. Void where prohibited. Entrants must be 18 years of age or older. Contest ends March 8, 1979. Register today at any Northwest Federal location, including both our new locations at Elmhurst and Elk Grove.
It's Northwest Federal Savings Time, 63 hours a week.
One more time.
It's Northwest Federal Savings Time, 63 hours a week.
CBS News. A crowd of 5,000 gathered in Bethlehem's Manger Square this Christmas Eve. 12,000 others heard Pope John Paul II ask for peace in his first Christmas Mass. But in part of the Middle East, there was sporadic fighting. I'm Susan Spencer, reporting on the CBS radio network. The early hours of Christmas were shattered by the crash of artillery shells in the Christian section of East Beirut. Right-wing military sources said Syrian gunners had opened fire on their positions. It's unclear at this time how serious the attacks were. There are so far no reports of casualties. In Tehran today, government troops opened fire on a group of protesters trying to storm the U.S. Embassy, and 13 people were killed. Randy Daniels reports that the anti-American mood is growing.
The movement against the Shah is taking on an openly anti-American tone, and some Americans who live here have been receiving threatening phone calls warning them to leave Iran. It is not unusual to be asked your nationality when walking down the street. The mention of any country other than the United States is generally met with a smile. The anti-American mood here is largely a result of U.S. support for the Shah. Graffiti on the walls of buildings and fences usually links Yankee Go Home with "Down with the Shah." To ease the growing hostility, or perhaps in a spirit of Christmas, workers at Tehran's power company refrained from their ploy of shutting down electrical service to upper-income areas of the city where many Americans live. The movement against the Shah is again gathering momentum, and as the few Christians here celebrate Christmas, anti-government forces are preparing for another round of confrontation. Randy Daniels, CBS News, Tehran.
More CBS News in a moment.
A music box, a sprig of holly, and holiday greetings from the CBS Radio Network. It's signed by some people you know. Charles Kuralt, Charles Osgood, Lee Jordan, Mariah McLaughlin, Ed Bradley, Harry Reisner, and Fred Graham. And some more signatures on our holiday greetings. Rita Sands, Morley Safer, Reed Collins, Richard C. Hartlett, Douglas Edwards, Dallas Townsend, and of course, everyone else at CBS News and the CBS Radio Network. Best wishes for a happy holiday season and a bright new year ahead.
California authorities today arrested a young man and a woman and charged them with the execution-style shootings of 2 California Highway Patrol officers last week. The pair was arrested after police recognized them from composite drawings. It is not known who supplied the description for those drawings. Vernon Jordan, the president of the Urban League, said Sunday that he worries that the same problems which caused unrest in U.S. cities in the 60s could cause similar disturbances today. On the CBS News broadcast Face the Nation, Jordan said the ingredients are there. He said that heading off the problems before they erupt will require a commitment from government to cut unemployment, which he said must be recognized as being just as important a problem as is inflation. President Carter's move to normalize relations with the People's Republic of China has brought on criticism, some of it from congressmen who say China frequently violates the human rights of its citizens. That criticism was answered today by Assistant Secretary of State for Human Rights, Patricia Darian.
I can only assure you that before the normalization was announced, we were discussing these matters with the People's Republic of China, and it is a part of our foreign policy which is known to every government in the world.
Former Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi will be spending Christmas in a Delhi prison cell. Today, Sunday, mobs of her supporters protested in Bombay. In that city, pro-Gandhi mobs set fire to buses, tried to burn commuter trains, and stoned passing cars. At least 200 people were arrested. Mrs. Gandhi is in prison on contempt charges. Her sentence will last as long as Parliament is in session. More in a moment.
Broadway musical. Girl Scouts need adult volunteers. Call your local Girl Scout council today. Girl Scouts part of being a girl. It's learning to be in a very big world. Learning to care and learning to share. And seeking the answers tomorrow will bring.
A Christmas story of sorts. Some 100,000 Christmas vacationers in the Canary Islands are having to rough it a bit. Hotel workers are on strike in the balmy Canaries, and that means no hot Christmas meals and no Christmas room service, which has no doubt prompted a lot of bah humbugs. Susan Spencer, CBS News.
We're back in Chicago again. This is WBBM News Radio 78. Decreasing cloudiness and turning colder for the remainder of this Christmas Eve. The low around 12 above. For tomorrow, Christmas Day, Weather Command has predicted more cold readings for the area. And snow flurries likely late. The percent chance of snow around 60%. Our high tomorrow, 22 degrees. Tuesday's outlook, more cold weather predicted for the area. Again, there's a possibility of snow, and for the next 5 days, our temperatures will range between 3 and 6 degrees below normal. The normal high 33 and the normal low 19. Our lakefront 30 degrees, officially at Midway 28 and O'Hare 27. The humidity 72%. The winds are northwesterly at 14 miles per hour. The wind chill factor 7 above, the barometer 29.71.
Give to the Wreath of Hope. Send your contributions to Bell Federal Savings, Monroe and Clark Street, Chicago 60603. News Radio 78, WBBM, Chicago.
Let's spotlight the headlines again on News Radio 78. I'm Marvin Mullins reporting. First, this program reminder, Capitol Cloakroom comes your way at 11:35. About 2,000 persons were evacuated Sunday night in Scotlandville, Louisiana, as an oil storage tank fire threatened their homes. Sheriff James Chin says they probably won't be able to return home until sometime Christmas Day. The Bangladesh government has suspended all martial law provisions and promised to release all political prisoners. The government also made another concession to opposition parties Sunday following the opposition threat to boycott the January 27th parliamentary election. The Egyptian Prime Minister is to report to President Sadat Monday on the weekend meeting with Secretary of State Vance and Israeli Foreign Minister Dayan. The talks in Brussels were an attempt to have Middle East peace treaty talks resumed. Argentina and Chilean soldiers are spending Christmas guarding the Andes Pass and patrolling their 2,600-mile common border. An envoy is expected later this week to mediate a territorial dispute between Argentina and Chile that threatens to erupt into war. Those are the headlines. We'll have details of those and other stories at this moment. About 2,000 residents of Scotlandville, Louisiana, are spending Christmas Eve with friends, relatives, or in an emergency shelter. The sheriff in the Baton Rouge suburb ordered an evacuation Sunday night as an oil storage tank fire threatened their homes. Sheriff James Chin says the people probably will not be able to return home until sometime Christmas Day. No civilians are reported injured, but 3 firemen with first-degree burns were taken to nearby hospitals. At last report, the fire was still burning out of control. Officials said there was enough oil in the tank to burn for 40 hours. The Bangladesh government has announced that it suspended all martial law provisions and promised to release all political prisoners. The government also gave another concession to opposition parties Sunday following the opposition's threat to boycott the January 27th parliamentary elections. Press restrictions are also to be withdrawn. Last week, the government gave in to the opposition demand for parliamentary sovereignty. Egyptian Prime Minister is to report to President Sadat Monday on the weekend meetings in Brussels with the U.S. Secretary of State Vance and Israeli Foreign Minister Dayan. That meeting was aimed at resuming the Middle East peace treaty talks. Vance also met in Geneva with Soviet Foreign Minister Gromyko over the weekend for further strategic arms limitation talks. He returned to Washington Sunday night. Thousands of Argentine and Chilean soldiers are spending Christmas guarding a pass between their two countries and their common 2,600-mile border. Both Chile and Argentina are awaiting the arrival of an envoy later this week. The envoy is to mediate their territorial dispute over islands at the tip of the continent, a dispute that threatens to erupt into war. The dollar fell slightly against the Japanese yen as the Tokyo Foreign Exchange opened its Monday trading. The U.S. currency regained some ground in moderate early trading, climbing to 194.40 yen. The Vietnamese news agency Dispatch, monitored in Bangkok, says sweets and gifts are being given to children in southern Vietnamese churches Monday. The children are having a Christmas celebration despite the fact that the Communist Vietnamese government officially frowns on religion. Christmas Day, like many other things in Boys Town, has changed since the days of its founder, Father Edward Flanagan. The citizens of Boys Town used to live in dormitories, but they all live in cottages now. Each cottage houses 10 boys, as well as a married couple as surrogate parents. So everyone in Boys Town will be celebrating a family Christmas this year. The WBBM News Time, 11:35. Our temperature downtown, 30 degrees.
Senator Dole, is there anything that you and other senators who disagree with the recognition of the Peking government can do to modify the